Hey guys, Matthew with Brew Every Day here. Excited to share with you a secret that I've kept for way too long about bottling. Now, you guys know that I'm brewing a different beer every single day for 365 days straight. Today is day 201, which means I've bottled almost just as many beers. And just like most brewers, when I started out, I was boiling priming sugar, adding it to a bottling bucket, siphoning from the fermenter into the bottling bucket, mixing up real well, and then going from there into each bottle, which works really well, especially for larger batches. But at a gallon size, 8 to 9 bottles each day, I just kind of wanted to streamline that a little bit. So the very first thing I tried, which worked really well, was sugar cubes. Now, sugar cubes are slightly too much sugar for each bottle based on my fermentation temperature, but if you run it through different calculators, for some beers it absolutely works great. I like using these a lot. It's super easy. Just grab it with tongs, force it into the bottle, siphon your beer directly from the fermenter into the bottle. So you're skipping the whole boiling and bottling bucket step. Saves a ton of time. Nothing really grows on pure sugar. I keep mine in the freezer anyway, and I don't handle it with my bare hands just to make sure. And I've never found that I had a contamination problem doing that. Like I said, it worked fantastically well, but I found there was just a little too much carbonation, and I couldn't adjust it for different bottle sizes. So here's what I do now. Excited to show you guys. I use a powder measure, which is made for refilling ammunition shells. Looks like this. I got mine on Amazon. The first one I had was a plastic version. This is a much nicer metal version. And how it works for ammunition is you put the powder in, you put the shell under, pull up to fill the chamber, drop it back down, and it's going to go into the shell. Actually, opposite that. Sorry, down to fill, up to drop it in. I fill mine with sugar. I put the bottle underneath. It adjusts with this micro adjuster. It is incredibly accurate. So I set mine to just under 2 grams of sugar per 12-ounce bottle, and it will pull that exact same weight incredibly consistently. So it works fantastic for me. Let me show you how it works. Mine slides in really nice between my counter and my cabinets there. I've got everything pre-sanitized. Bottles in a fast rack to my left. Got my siphon in the 5-gallon bucket of Star San here in the sink. So what I'm going to do is add about 1/4 of a cup of cane sugar to this. Now, I've tried corn sugar and cane sugar. I actually found that in a blind test over several beers, I prefer the cane sugar. Most people recommend corn. I don't want to get into that debate, so do what you like. But I fill it like that. Tap it down to settle it a little bit. I like to pull the first couple charges just to make sure it's running smoothly. It's fantastic. Got the caps here in my apron. You get those sanitizing while I set up the siphon. There we go. Now the beer I'm bottling tonight is a Baltic Porter that I brewed on Christmas Day. Got it cold crashed, and I put it up here. I'm going to bottle into the sink, so any spillage won't make my wife upset at me. Good to avoid that. So I use a siphon starter just like this. Remove the airlock, throw that in there. Drain the Star San out of the second part of the siphon starter. And I pull my first little bit into a test tube so I can get a good gravity reading when I start. Final gravity on this ended up at 1:24, it looks like. Okay. So here's the fun. Let that rest in the bucket. 12-ounce bottles today. I'm going to get about 7 or 8 out of this batch because it was such a big beer and had tons of blow off. Stick it right under there. Pull the sugar straight in. That's all there is to it. Take this sample, Don't want to waste that. I really like the initial taste there. Pretty sweet, so I'll have to see what it tastes like when it's the right temperature and carved correctly. But got the siphon going in the bottle there. I'm going to go ahead and pull the next sugar. Into the next bottle. It's that easy. Why not, right? So obviously there's diminishing returns using this technique. Guys that are brewing 5 gallons and bigger, a lot of brewers aren't bottling anyway. You guys are using kegs, which is pretty cool, but there's no great way to keg 1 gallon, of course. So bottling conditioning is the way to go. It's how I got into brewing, and I still just love drinking a beer out of a bottle and being able to take it to friends. So anytime you need a bottle, it's a great technique. I would stop the video here, but I wanted to show you guys how fast I can do the entire batch. No boiling, no extra buckets or pots, not even measuring really. Once this thing's set up to the size bottle that I want it to be, I can leave it there. I do adjust it if I'm going to use a different size bottle, but 12 ounce is obviously what I use the majority of the time. So I just leave it set unless I, use some special kind of bottle. I'm adding to number 7 now. I'm not sure we're going to make 8 tonight. No, definitely not going to. There we go, 7 bottles. Done just like that. The only thing is, with the sugar being at room temperature, my beer is very cold because I took it straight at Cold Crash. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning and give it a really good shake to make sure that all that sugar is dissolved in there. Otherwise, great way to save on equipment and get to use a cool gadget, save a lot of time bottling. Hope you guys enjoy it.